Hello BookTube. For this Tag Thursday, I'm going to be doing the 1001 Books tag. This tag was created by Miss Reads a Lot, and I originally saw it on Steve Donahue's channel, and I'll leave a link to both videos in the show notes down below. So basically, this list, this tag, was inspired by the book 1000 Books to Read Before You Die. I'm blanking on the author's name. I know if you check out Steve Donahue's video, he leaves a link to his review of the book. So it should be there. Also, if you can track down his year's best list of 2018, I think, is when it came out. So it would have been on that list, and it is the #1 book in the nonfiction category. I read it in very early 2019 and thought it was okay for the most part, maybe good. I wasn't as impressed with it. I thought there were certain books missing that were inexplicably missing, but it's been a while since I've read it, so I could be wrong. Anyway, so every prompt on this list begins with 1001, and I'm going to basically say it just for the first. Well, I guess I could go ahead and do it for all of the prompts, even though it might get a bit repetitive, so sorry if you find it a bit repetitive. Okay. 1001 lists. Do you follow any book lists? It can be prize list or a challenge like the Rory Gilmore challenge. Yes, I follow Steve Donahue's year's end lists. Basically, Steve Donahue reads a number of genres, and at the end of the year, he compiles a list of the 10 best, and for nonfiction and fiction as a general category, 10 worst books of the year. I mainly follow, I follow all of them. I check them all out, but I'm especially interested in debut fiction, science fiction and fantasy, history, biography, and best and worst fiction and nonfiction. And I'm quite looking forward to this year's list. I also kind of sort of follow prize lists and other lists, but not necessarily as TBRs. It's more, I would like to challenge myself to read, like, say, a long list or a short list for the Booker Prize or something like that, but honestly never do. So, 1001 books. Approximately how many physical books do you currently own? How many ebooks? At this moment, I have 902 books in my collection. Not quite to 1001, although that should come relatively quickly in the new year, the way I accumulate books. But, yeah. So I got my 902nd, well, my 900th book came in this Monday. And I will mention when I do my November book haul which book that was. And then on Tuesday, I got in my 901 and 902. Today, I should be getting in 903 to 906. Because I have a book order from the University of Chicago Press coming in today or tomorrow. I haven't checked. Yeah. So I'm quite pleased, and again, I'll probably be reaching and exceeding 1001 books relatively quickly next year. As far as ebooks are concerned, I think I have maybe 20. I mean, that I actually own. Oh, I have no idea. I don't bother counting them. I mean, I have like some ebooks that I kind of copied from Project Gutenberg. Some are, I think, in a Google Drive thing, and I don't really pay attention to it, so I don't know how many I've got there. And then I have some on my Kindle, which is maybe like 5 I outright, no, maybe it's like 3 I outright own, and then the rest are all Kindle Unlimited. So it's not much, and I really don't read ebooks at all. So, I mean, what I'm more interested in are the physical books. 1001 books read. Approximately how many books have you read in your lifetime? Do you keep track? As far as how many books I've read in my life, during my lifetime I have no idea. I would probably say in the high hundreds, if not low thousands. I'm not entirely sure. I do keep track of the books I've read, but it's incredibly spotty. I made a list of the books I read, or what I've read, in sometime in the early 2010s, I think, and then or maybe it would be late aughts, and then stopped, and then I started back up again in 2017, and I've been pretty good at keeping up with that number, like the list. Unfortunately, from 2017 through 2019, I didn't actually number those books, so I'd have to go in and count exactly how many books I've read. Starting in 2020 and continuing this year in 2021, I have listed, or I've numbered the books I've read, so I can kind of tell how much I've read. And I think I've gotten to, I don't remember how many books I read last year. I know this year I just hit 140 books. So I probably will get to maybe 150, maybe slightly more by the end of the year. But in my lifetime, I'm rough estimate would probably be high hundreds to low thousands. But exact number, I have no idea. 1001 Nights. Have you read any stories from the Arabian Nights? Do you have a favorite? If you haven't, do you want to? So, I've never read the entirety of the 1001 Nights. I think I've read some selections from it, some stories from it that have been taken and added to other anthologies. I would say my favorite is maybe Sinbad, or maybe or the story that kind of forms the basis of Aladdin. If it's in there, I don't know. I really do need to read the whole of the 1001 Nights. It's a book that I've been meaning to read for ages. 1001 Flavors. Do you have a favorite food or flavor? I do have a sweet tooth, so I think my favorite flavor is a sweet flavor. My favorite food is likely to be omelets. I really like omelets. Also pancakes. I do like pancakes too. But I do like a lot of food, so. 1001 pages. Have you ever read a book that is over 1001 pages? Is there one that you recommend and is worth the time? What is the longest book you have read? So I've read a few books that have been over 1001 pages. I think I've read The Stand by Stephen King, It by Stephen King, neither of which I recommend. Even though I do have The Stand, which I don't know why I got it, because Like I read it before I bought it. But anyway, The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, which I do recommend. I'm trying to think of any of the histories I've been reading lately. I don't exactly remember the page count for Big Wonderful Thing. I don't think it's 1,001 pages though. Okay, now I'm drawing a blank. Well, I'm currently working on the Big Book of Science Fiction, edited by Anne and Jeff Vandermeer, which is over 1,001 pages. So I haven't finished it yet. I will by the end of the month, but I guess I would recommend it. I have my issues with it. I'm not as impressed by it as other booktubers who are reading from it for New Worlds November. But yeah, I mean, if you're interested in a big book of science fiction that runs the gamut of science fiction, it's fairly good. So is there any other books I'm drawing a blank right now, so I'm going to move on to the next question or prompt. 1001 buckets. Do you have a non-bookish bucket list? What is one thing on the list? Not really. I mean, maybe travel, but I don't really have one. I was thinking of mentioning though, I've always wanted, there's this antique store that's on my way to the post office. So I go into the post office every month to get a money order to pay the rent, and I walk by in a little antique store or antique mall, and I've always wanted to go in, and I've never done it. And they're moving to a new location. At the end of the month, they'll be closing and moving during December and into January. And so, if I don't go in this month, excuse me, this Monday when I go in to pay the rent, I'm never going to go into that store, and I don't know if I actually am or not. It might be more fun to not go, so it's like one thing I just never did. Anyway, 1001 numbers. Do you have a lucky number? Is there a story behind it? No. And see Steve Donahue's rant about this. Although I was thinking about doing a little claps, repeating it between every word. 1001 authors. Do you have a favorite author and or genre? So regarding authors and having favorites, like having a favorite author means you pretty much like everything they write, and I'm an inordinately critical part of a reader, and so I end up having fraught relations with a lot of authors. Like say China Mieville. He's a favorite of mine, although I really only like his Bossalog novels, and I don't think he can really write a satisfying conclusion to save his life. Yeah, so I don't think I really have favorite authors. I have authors I like, but not necessarily favorites. Although that could be changing. I am on a bit of an H.W. Brands buying kick, as well as Anne Applebaum and Brenda Wineapple. Spoiling my November book haul here. So maybe I'm developing some favorites. We shall see. But right now, I don't really think I do. And as far as favorite genre goes, for nonfiction, it's history. I love history. For fiction, it's fantasy. I know normally I bundle science fiction and fantasy together as the super genre science fiction and fantasy, but of the two, I really much prefer fantasy to science fiction. 1001 activities. Do you have a favorite outdoor activity? Walking. I love to walk. I haven't done as much walking, particularly outside, during the pandemic as I would like. Hopefully I'll be able to start that back up either this coming Friday or next Friday, and just try to walk. I do have a bit of a goal. I've heard there's a little free library at a local church that I kind of want to see if I can find it, because I've been driven past it before, and I haven't seen it, so I'm not entirely sure where it's located. And I'm quite curious to see what all books are there. So I think that might be on my agenda for this coming Friday, assuming there are no dogs loose. Because lately, a lot of people are letting their dogs out without securing them, and it's kind of frightening. But anyway, 1001 book clubs. Not a prompt, but a question for the comments. Should I start a 1001 book club with a book a month for a read-along? That's actually a really good idea. Drawing a... Well, I mean, yeah, you could do, like, say, use the 1000 books to read before you die as sort of like a basis, and pretty much form a book club based on that, because I mean clearly it's going to take a while to read all of those books, so yeah, so that would work. Yeah, would be interesting. I might not necessarily participate myself because I am doing atrociously when it comes to booktube events. But I'd bow out. But I think as a general idea, yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. 10 plus 1 friends. And tag some friends. So, as I normally do with these tag videos, I'm going to tag everybody. So, if you would like to do this tag, consider yourselves tagged. Definitely because this tag was a lot of fun. So anyway, BookTube, thank you. Have a great morning, because this is another early morning video. I'm planning to get a start on another book when I normally do my filming period, on the off chance that I have the 4 Children of the Apocalypse coming in. They are finally moving, and not entirely sure if we'll be watching them. Also afternoon, and wish me luck if I do have the 4 Children of the Apocalypse over, and I will see you tomorrow for weekly reads, which hopefully will be at its regular time. It might be a little bit late, depending if I can finish the book I'm going to be starting today by then. So, new BookTube, thank you, and stay safe.